So here's the haul of timber that we salvaged from the pallet in the last video, and we're going to start with these solid lengths of timber, and we're going to process them by using this table saw. The table saw is hooked up to a shop vacuum cleaner, a shop vac, because it will produce a lot of sawdust, and this helps manage that sawdust better. Some safety gear, of course. And then I've made a small modification to this table saw. I made a new fence for it because the original fence was a little bit too flexible. And there's videos on YouTube about how you can make a fence like this for this kind of table saw. And it's way more solid. So to clean up these lengths of timber, I'm just raising the saw blade to a suitable height and then putting the fence in, and then tapping the fence in just a couple more millimeters, and then by doing this we'll be able to take off one edge of this rough timber, making sure that you keep your hands well away from the saw blade. It can be a dangerous tool, so the number one rule is to keep your distance, and this pusher that I'm using helps it to go through the saw squarely and straight, and it keeps your fingers away from the dangerous part of the saw blade. Okay, and you can see that cut edge looks very nice and straight and clean compared to the rough surfaces on the other three sides of this length of timber. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other three lengths of timber that we have there. Yeah, and again, this is why we make sure that all the nails are out so that we don't damage the saw or cause danger. Okay, then for the other side, just tap that fence in a little more, flip over the length of timber, and do the same process. And then this side should also be parallel to the side that you put through before. And then repeat the process for the other three lengths of timber that we had. Okay, and then to do the sides, the saw blade can only reach so high. But if you have it set up nice and square, you can just do part of it and then flip the length of timber over vertically, and you'll get a nice cleaned up edge to all your pieces of timber. So we've cleaned up three sides of this block of timber so far, and you can see in comparison to the original surface, it's way better. In fact, it's smooth enough to be able to laminate them together later on, which is going to be the next step in this video. We'll just clean up that final surface, again using this method of flipping over the block. Okay, and the final result is 4 pretty nice looking lengths of timber. And you can see the surface is pretty smooth and free from rough variations. And we're going to match to look for a surface that goes together well. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to use some glue to laminate them together under pressure. So I want this to be a really tight join because this is going to be the legs of our daybed. I'm going to use this material to build 4 legs for a daybed out of. So I'm putting glue on both surfaces and make sure I have good strong lamination between them. Okay, so spread that glue out, clean up any excess with the rag, and then I'm using these sash clamps to tightly squeeze the lengths of timber together to laminate them with the glue. And I'll leave them for 24 hours to make sure that the glue has completely cured, and we'll come back and turn them into some legs for our daybed. We'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.